celebrity has tricked everyone into thinking they're a good person? Oh, you mean besides half of Hollywood and most of Netflix's catalog? Let's talk about the ones who wore the mask the best. First up, Bill Cosby. To millions, he was America's dad. Sweaters, dad jokes, pudding commercials. He was safe, funny family. Except for some kids, he was the exact opposite. One Redditor recalled being 7 years old. Part of a children's performance group asked to open for Cosby at a theater. The kids were buzzing, lined up backstage, practically vibrating with excitement. This was the man from TV, except he never came. Stood them up completely. That moment stuck so hard that even as an adult, the Redditor said, looking back, I'm glad he didn't come. He wasn't the man everyone thought he was. Then came the stories from his commercials. Remember those Jell-O pudding ads? Cute kids, warm fatherly vibes, the whole family man brand. Turns out, behind the camera, he was cruel. Adults who worked with him said he'd humiliate children if they stumbled on a line. Imagine being 10 years old, messing up a word, and this national treasure tearing you down in front of the crew. That wasn't a mistake. It was the real Cosby showing through the mask. And the worst part? People around him knew. They whispered. They saw cracks in the perfect image, but money talks louder than truth. He was making networks millions, so no one cared if kids walked away crying. Now shift to the UK. Jimmy Savile, the name alone sends shivers. At the time, he was untouchable. TV host, charity icon, cultural hero. He raised millions for hospitals, shook hands with royalty, smiled for the cameras. People adored him. He died a legend, except behind the curtain, he was something else entirely. Redditors from the UK remember the whispers. BBC cameramen quietly warning parents, don't let your kid near his dressing room. Producers joking, but not really joking, about his habits. There were rules, unspoken ones, to keep kids safe. Imagine how insane that is. A man so protected that the best defense staff could give was to quietly steer children away, not expose him. Because if you did, your career was over. One comment nailed it. It makes me furious he died beloved, never facing consequences. He went to his grave with medals, awards, honors, while his victims carried scars. Generations later, kids in the UK literally use Jimmy Savile as slang for creepy old guy. That's his legacy. Your name becomes a warning label. And here's the disgusting part. It wasn't just Cosby or Savile. It was the system around them. The machine that knew exactly who they were, but also knew how much money they made. Cosby wasn't America's dad. He was a cash cow. Savile wasn't a national treasure. He was free labor for a PR machine. The institutions protecting them weren't blind. They were complicit. Redditors pointed out how BBC staff who raised concerns about Savile got pushed out, or how American media buried rumors about Cosby because he was too valuable. People even joked, never take a drink from Cosby, or don't leave kids with Savile. The rumors were there. Everyone knew. But power kept them untouchable. And that's the darkest punchline of all. The bad guys didn't just wear masks. We helped them put those masks on. We applauded, bought tickets, tuned in every week, and defended them against critics. Cosby and Savile didn't trick everyone on their own. The world wanted to be tricked. So next time you find yourself saying, that celebrity seems so wholesome, so kind, so perfect, remember, perfect sells. Wholesome pays. And sometimes, the people smiling the widest are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. Because in show business, the biggest role some celebrities ever play is pretending to be good people. And here's the part no one likes to admit. We're not just shocked at these guys being monsters, we're shocked at how long we all clapped while they performed. Because let's be real, there were signs, jokes, rumors, weird stories whispered at dinner tables, somebody's uncle saying, don't leave your kids alone with him. But we laughed it off because who wants to believe the man selling pudding pops or shaking hands with the queen is actually a predator? One Redditor nailed it with sarcasm. Less insulation. As if losing weight makes you cold. But in reality, losing illusions is what really chills you. Once you realize these good people weren't good at all, you start side-eyeing everyone. Every celebrity smile feels rehearsed. Every charity event feels like PR damage control. The creepiest part, these weren't just men with dark secrets, they were industries. Cosby wasn't one man, he was a brand. Savile wasn't one creep, he was the BBC's golden goose.